EFF leader Julius Malema has assured Mpumalanga residents that corruption will be rooted out as the party is now official opposition in the Mpumalanga province. He was addressing party supporters during the 6-year anniversary outside Mbombela in Mpumalanga. Today we crossed to our reporter Abongile Dumako. He is in Mbombela in Mpumalanga just to give us an update. Very good evening to you. Of course, we saw very strong, bold statements coming from the Commander-in-Chief himself. Take us through today's outline.
Certainly. Good evening, Chantel. Yes, Julius Malema on this 6th birthday of the EFF going out quite strongly against the governance of Mpumalanga province, saying that now that they are officially the official opposition party in the provincial legislature in Mpumalanga, things will change for the better for the thousands and many people who reside in this part of the country, saying that it's about time that, a government is actually focusing on giving what is due to the locals in Mpumalanga, and of course corruption, saying that it will be a thing of the past. Going on to say that across all the farming areas in the province, including your Malelane in Komazi and areas like those, that there are people who apparently are occupying land. They're claiming that they got it, they've got title deeds, they bought that land, and yet they can't really produce evidence as to how come they actually own that piece of land, saying that if it needs be, they will take the land by force. Julius Malema adamant that the EFF was going to continue to grow, especially as we are approaching the local government elections, saying that in Mpumalanga they will continue to make inroads, because even at the Mbombela local municipality there's always challenges. No mayors sort of sit there for the duration of what they were supposed to sort of spend in as far as being in the position is concerned. Lack of accountability, comrades being employed due to the fact that they are members of the ANC in the province, saying that that will be a thing of the past as soon as possible, now that they are actually in official opposition, having taken over from the DA in the past elections that we've seen quite unfolding quite interestingly here in Mpumalanga.
We also heard the Commander-in-Chief himself, Mr. Julius Malema, also calling for there to be no borders across Africa. We do know that we saw in the recent elections a lot of the African contingent voting support coming out for the EFF. Just take us through that.
Yes, he did make mention of the fact that government must make sure that all borders throughout the country actually are open for South Africans, for Africans, neighboring countries, Lesotho, Swaziland, Botswana, Zimbabwe, that everybody must be able to have a free flow around the African continent. The fact that there's borders, it was because of the old colonizers who came into Africa and thought that they will take over this land and actually own it to themselves, saying that people from Swaziland, people from Mozambique, people from all parts of the country should be able and feel free to come and have access to all that the land has to offer throughout Africa, all the wealth that the land has to offer. And if it means, again, he did reiterate, if it means the land must be taken by force, they are prepared to do that. But now what is important is for the borders, including the one that is in Mozambique and of course Swaziland, which borders in Mpumalanga province, must be open for everybody to be able to have a free flow. There's a free flow of moving, and of course intra-trade relations be enhanced in as far as that is concerned. One much important point, Chantel, that Julius Malema made mention of, of course, the elective conference of the party is fast approaching, appealing to his members to actually go back to the grassroots now, saying that the party is not going to have any major events between now and until the date where the elective conference takes place in Nazareth in Johannesburg, calling on the members to actually go back to the grassroots and build branches, avoid as well the tendency that he says was actually noticed and picked up during the ANC's National Elective Conference, where people are lobbying others to actually come to be the leaders of the party, going as far as paying money to make sure that they get to be in positions of leadership, saying that that money, if they want to use money, they must just give it back to communities like this one, which is KaNyamazane here in Mbombela. Julius Malema says he's not going to tolerate any nonsense approaching that elective conference, which is seen to be a very historic for the 6-year-old party, the EFF.
Thank you very much for giving us some of the updates there from Mbombela, our report on the ground. Abongile Dumako just taking us through the celebrations as the EFF turns 6.